I'm Angela Martinez. Welcome to That's Clever. Many artists find inspiration right outside their front doors. We head to California to meet up with this self-proclaimed mountain gal. She goes with the grain to make a purse that proves she has all nature handled.
Hi, my name is Marianne Rosenfeld, and I live here in beautiful South Lake Tahoe, California. You know, Marianne Rosenfeld is my real name. This rock table, fake. My hair color, real. This fur chair, fake. My dog, real. This birch bark purse, fake. Fake. Today, I'm going to make this faux birch bark and pine petal purse. To begin making my purse, I need a real pine cone. Here in South Lake Tahoe, there are pine trees everywhere. Pine cones are just falling out of the sky. Here's one. It's nice. This is a sugar pine cone, and in order for me to use it, I need to soak it for 24 hours to soften it up. I just so happen to have a bucket right here. And now I'm going to go to my studio and start making my purse. Come on, let's go. This is my workspace where I have all my tools. This pine cone has already been soaked, and it's now soft enough to pluck. The pine cone is all closed up, and it's much softer and easier to pluck. To gain access to the petals that I want, I first take a saw and cut the heel off. This is the part that I like, the soft petals, kind of like an artichoke. So I start plucking. I have to use sugar pine cones because they're flatter and they glue better. After I pluck the entire cone, I let the petals dry for 24 hours. I have these petals that have already been dried. Now they're ready to trim. Look like chips, don't they? Delicious. Just kidding, these are real chips. I'm now going to use my scissors to cut off the scraggly ends so I can apply them to my purse. Now it's time to start on the body of my purse. The body of my purse begins with a purchased wooden box. In this case, it's a book design. I like the shape of this box because it kind of looks like a purse. Now I'm going to paint the sides and bottom of my purse in a faux birch bark design. I use several color paints, heavy body white, a greenish gold tone, I have a dark brown, and a terracotta kind of a color. I use acrylic paint. The white alone has to be in a heavy body form. The other colors need not be. They're just accent colors. The reason why I use heavy body for the white is because when I apply it to the wood, I want the striations to be much like birch bark. My next step is to use my pens and add little character on the bark, little dots and dashes, kind of like Morse code. I'm using paint pens for this step. Birch is beautiful. I've spent hours in my backyard just staring at my birch tree, trying to develop a way to duplicate it. Now it's time for me to stain the areas that will remain unembellished. I'm using a medium brown wood stain. I chose this color because it matches the pine petals so closely. I don't need to stain this area because that's going to be where the pine petals are going. I like to put little feet on my purses, so I've already stained and attached 4 little wood screw plugs. My pine petals have been sitting here waiting to be attached. I use my glue gun, but before I do that, I have to put my glasses on. The reason why this isn't clear hot glue is because it's the extra strength version. But it's okay, it kind of looks like sap. I now take these very straight sticks and put them all the way around the edges of my box. I first hot glue with extra strength hot glue, and then I nail it. I'm now moving on to leather. I have this oval top cut to align with the opening of the purse. Now I'm going to attach these small little trim pieces that will disguise the cut tops of my pine petals. Now for the loops. I start with these leather sections that I first hot glue and then attach with these decorative upholstery pins. All my leather's on. I've also attached this brass latch for the closure. Now it's time to add my handle, which is actually a real birch branch. I've cut it and shaved down the edges, sanded it a little. It's going into my loops for my handle. I first hot glue, and then I use, once again, my decorative upholstery tacks. I gotta do the inside. I'm using acrylic paint, and I like to use this antique greenish gold. It adds a little elegance to this otherwise very rustic bag. And I like to put a little mirror. And for my final touch, I'm gonna leave myself a little message. Hello, beautiful. For the mountain gal that has everything, my faux birch bark and pine petal purse is now complete. And that's for real.